Hello guys, welcome to another vlog of solar power. I am Shayak. I'm going to show you guys how you can size your cable for your solar power plant. So guys, please continue with the video and let's rock. So guys, in today's video, I am going to tell you how to select the DC cable sizing for a solar system. So it's basically the cable which is going from the module towards the DC combiner box. So I'll be telling you how we used to select the cable size depending on different parameters. But before going to that topic, we must clear one concept, that is R, which is the resistance of a conductor, is equal to rho into L divided by A, where rho is the resistivity of that particular conductive material or that particular conductor, L is the length of the conductor, and A is the area, cross-sectional area of this particular conductor. So what is rho? Rho is actually a constant value depending on the material that we are using as a conductor, either it's copper or aluminium or tin or whatsoever you are using. Depending on that, rho used to be a constant value. L is the length. It means like how much longer conductor we are using. Either it's a 10 meter long conductor, or either it's a 5 meter long conductors, or it's a 2 meter long conductor. Depending on that, this L used to be. And A is the cross-sectional area of that conductor. Now, from this basic formula, you can understand one thing. If this A value, which is the cross-sectional area, if this value increases, the resistance of the conductor will decrease. So, what it means, like if the conductor becomes thicker, the resistance will be less. Now if this A value decreases, means if this conductor becomes thinner, then the resistance will be higher. Because from this formula, as you can see, A is in the denominator. So like if A increasing, R will be decreasing. If A decreasing, R will be increasing. So I guess this concept is clear. Now we will go to the cable sizing topic. So guys, here you can see, normally we used to take 4 square meter or 6 square mm DC cable, which is going from our solar module or from the string towards the DC combiner box. Now how you used to select this size? So I will be showing you here. So this is a plant I have taken where we are using REC solar module, that is REC is the manufacturer. So the maximum wattage output is 320, our VOC, that is open circuit voltage, that is 45.3 volt. ISC, that is the short circuit current, that is 9.03 ampere, and our VMPP, that is our operating voltage, is 37.7, and our IMP operating current is 8.5 amp, and there are few more specifications for that particular module. You will get everything on that module datasheet. Now we will go and we will check for the cable sizing. So from where we are getting this cable sizing, as you can see, here I have taken one technical specification for RR cable. Okay, so what we get in these technical specifications? So from the website you can get this. So they have given n numbers of parameters for that cable. Like you can see, thermal parameters are given, like what will be the optimum temperature to use it, and what will be the short circuit temperature. Everything is given here. Our electrical parameters are also given, like maximum voltage rating is how much, maximum PV system voltage DC up to 2 kV possible, and if you want to use it as AC, we can transfer up to 0.6 to 1 kV volts from this particular cable, and maximum permissible operating voltage, and every kind of specifications are given here. So going forward, as you can see here you can see the cable sizing, like the cross-sectional area of cables are given here. It's like 1.5 mm, it's in square meter, 1.5 mm square, 2.5 mm square, 4 mm square, and depending on this the insulation thickness is also given, outer sheath thickness is also given, and the cable diameter is also given here, and your maximum conductor resistance is also given here, that is in ohm per kilometer. And okay, so I will be showing you once the physical structure. So this is the physical structure of the cable. This center one, this is the core, this one red one is the insulation, and this black one is the sheath. of the cable. Okay, so here everything is given here, how much thicker is the insulation, how much thicker is the sheath, and how much thicker is the complete cable over here. So it's given over here, as you can see the parameters are given. And one more, and one of the most important parameter, that is the current carrying capacity. This is the most important parameter when you are going to select your DC cable for installation. So as you can see here, for 4 square mm cable, there are 3 different current carrying capacity depending on different installation type. Like suppose the single cable is free in air, so if it's hung into the air, then the current carrying capacity will be different. If the cable is on a surface, so suppose it's laid on the surface or laid on the land, then there will be another current carrying capacity. And if 2 loaded cables touching on a surface, so suppose we are using these cables inside a conduit, okay, so positive and negative cables are there, so we are putting 2 cables inside a conduit and we are sending it towards our DC combiner box or the string combiner box. So we will be using this last value over here. So as you can see, for 4 square mm cable, the current carrying capacity is 44 amperes. For 6 square mm cable, the current carrying capacity is 55 ampere. Now coming to our technical sheet, as you can see here, we have taken here 4 square mm cable, and the rated DC voltage and working voltage, everything was given there as I showed you in this technical parameters of that particular cable site, that has been given already. So first thing we need to calculate is, we have to calculate the maximum current that can flow through the cable. So how we are going to calculate the maximum current that is going to flow through the cable? So the formula for that is I maximum is equal to I short circuit into number of parallel string into this 1.25 is actually the design margin that we have taken here, because we are considering 25% losses happening in the DC side of our system. So depending on the 25% loss, we are taking our design margin as 1.25. So I short circuit was 9.03 ampere. So multiplying it with our number of parallel string, that we have taken 1 parallel string. So like in few sites they used to make 20 modules in a single table and another 20 modules in a single table in series, and they used to combine both the table in parallel and they used to make 1 string. But here we are considering it as a single string. Like suppose 20 modules we have connected and we have taken 1 single string from that. So we have taken here single number of string. So you will be multiplying ISC, that is 9.04 multiplied with 1, that is the number of our parallel string. You can make it 2 as well, or you can make it as per your requirement. So the Imax will increase, as you can see here. So you will be taking it as 1, and we will multiply the design margin, that is 1.25 with this complete value. So we will get our Imax. So as you can see here, our Imax is 11.2875 ampere. Now while to select the our DC cable size, we have to consider another more thing, that is our derating factor. So what is derating factor? Derating factor depends on so many parameters, like your physical parameter of the site. So if there is any high temperature conditions over there, so it depends on that. So that time you have to calculate that as derating factor, or nominally the formula for derating factor is given by 1 divided by root n. Okay, so root n is what? Root n is the number of cable inside the conduit. So how many cable we are using inside a single conduit, depending on that we used to select our derating factor over here. So as we have taken here n is equal to 8, so 8 numbers of cable we are putting through a single conduit. So by putting that in this formula, we are getting our derating factor as 0.35. Okay, so our derating factor is 0.35 here. Now what we will do, we will calculate the derating current carrying capacity. So our derating current carrying capacity, it's depend on what? It depends on the current carrying capacity of the cable we have selected, or the thickness of the cable that we have selected. So as you can see here, we have selected this 4 square mm cable, and from the data sheet of that particular manufacturer we can see the current carrying capacity of 4 square mm cable in the condition of 2 loaded cables touching on a surface is 44 ampere. So here we have given this 44 ampere, and now this derating current carrying capacity, it's become 44 multiplied by this derating factor, that is 0.35. So hence it's becoming, you can see it's becoming 15.4 amps. Now our Imax was 11.2875 ampere, which we have calculated previously, and our DCC is, that is our derating current capacity, is 15.4 amps. So our derating current capacity is much higher than our Imax. So this condition is satisfying. So you have to keep one thing in mind, that the value of DCC, that is our derating current capacity, should always be greater than the value of Imax. Why? Because Imax is the maximum current that is going to flow through the conductor. Now if the capacity of that conductor to flow the current is not higher than the maximum amount of current, then there will be overheating issues, or then there will be some burning issues or melting issues can happen. As in the starting of this video I have explained to you, the thicker the conductor is, the much current it can flow through it. The thinner the conductor, the less current it can flow through it, because the resistivity will get increased when the conductor become thinner. So now you see one thing, now we just change this value. So instead of one parallel string, we will take two parallel string here. So what will happen? So here our Imax is getting increased, as you can see here. Our Imax is becoming 22.575 ampere. Okay. So at that point you can see here our DCC value, that is our derating current capacity for 4 square mm cable, is much more lower than Imax. So what happens if we use this 4 square mm cable in this condition? Then that cable will for surely get burnt. Okay, because our Imax is much more higher than our derating current carrying capacity of that cable. So what we should do now? So you should select a different cable. Now we will go and we will select a 6 square mm cable. Let's see what will happen. So for 6 square mm cable, you can see here the current carrying capacity is 57, as it's given here 57. So we will put here 57 amps our current carrying capacity. Now what will happen? So if we put 57 as our current carrying capacity, we will come here and we will see how much it's becoming. So now you can see our derating current carrying capacity is 19.95 amps, but then also it's lower than Imax. Then this is also not going to satisfy our condition. This cable also may burn, and it will burn for sure, or it will get melt at some point. When we will reach the worst condition, or we will get our Imax flowing through the cable, we will get our cable burnt at that point. So let's take it 10 mm cable. Or is there any 8 mm cable? Let's check. So no 8 square mm cable are available. So after 6 square mm, it is 10 square mm. So and for 10 square mm cable, the current carrying capacity here is 79 amps. Okay, so we'll be using this cable. So now make it 10 square mm cable and let's use 79 amps. So what will happen? Now you can see here, okay, so our DCC, that is our derating current capacity, that has become 27.65 ampere. So here, as you can see here, our derating current capacity is again much higher than our Imax. So this is satisfying our current, and for this particular system or this kind of system design, we can use a 10 square mm cable. But if we keep this number of parallel string as 1, so our Imax will decrease here. It's become 11.2875, and then we can use a 4 square mm cable. Not going to harm at all. So our current carrying capacity will be 44 amps, and here you see, as usual, this will become 15.4 our derating current capacity, and our Imax is like 11.2875. So you can use 4 square mm if you are using a single string, but if you are using 2 parallel string, then this Imax is getting higher, and then we have to use a 10 square mm cable to satisfy our condition. So guys, this is the video about DC cable sizing. So in my next videos I will be coming with the DC fusing, and also few more new topic for you people who used to come into solar industry. If you are a student, you want to come into solar industry, then you can follow this thing, and it will be really helpful for you people. Or if you are an EPC installer, a small EPC installer who is new in the market and have some guidance over installation or cable sizing, so you guys can follow my videos. So guys, I will be saying you one thing. So if you want to get this kind of this kind of knowledge or this kind of guidance So please subscribe my channel and continue with my videos. So you will be getting more and more this kind of tutorials for you people. So it will be easier for you to understand as well. So that's all for today, guys. Have a nice day.
So guys, I hope this video was helpful for you people. So if you like this video, please go like, share and subscribe, and please press the bell button after subscribing for much more new updates and much more new videos on renewable power sector. Thank you so much guys. Thank you for watching my videos. Have a nice day. Bye bye. See you soon.